anyone to give it to if it came. What does he mean by that? Long after there was anyone to give a call to. What is he referencing? What's about to happen? Yeah. So what does he mean by that, Domingo?
That no one's gonna be able to answer.
Yeah. So that the butler waits until 4 to get the call, but by the time a call came, there would be nobody there. So what do we call this if this is a clue about what's about to happen? Foreshadowing. Okay? So I circled that, and I put FS in my margin for foreshadowing. If that's not something that you're going to be able to remember, FS, put foreshadowing. 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 And let's pick up at that period. I have an idea that Gatsby himself didn't believe it would come. What is it there? The call. Good. And perhaps he no longer cared. So now I paused here. Gatsby doesn't care if the call comes, and he doesn't believe it would come himself. Does this strike you as odd?
No.
Kind of.
It should, because what? What did we just say? Yeah, and what word are we associating with Gatsby? Hope, okay? So this is a clear character shift right here. Up until this point, Gatsby has been associated with infinite hope. Now, he doesn't even care if the call comes. What does that mean? He's lost all hope.
He's dying.
Is he dying or?
Jay Gatsby is dying.
There you go. Okay. All right. So this concept of Jay Gatsby is dying. Yeah. Great. Perfect. So he no longer cares. So I said he no longer cared. I underlined that, and then I actually put exactly what AJ just said at the bottom. I put JG dead. I'm sort of writing in shorthand here. If that's going to be confusing, you can write Jay Gatsby dead. You could write Platonic Gatsby dead. Let me keep going. If that was true, he must have felt that he had lost the old warm world. I circled those words, old warm world. Paid a high price for living too long with a single dream. I circled the word single dream. Why might I circle the words old warm world and single dream?
Those are like the platonic ideas I did.
Yeah, exactly. So that platonic conception has now crumbled around him. That old warm world is gone. He's now living here in the real world, the tangible world. So I would put that in my margin, right? His old world is gone. The world of Jay Gatsby has crumbled. Now he's living in the present, the tangible, the material, the real. So now I want you on your own to finish reading this paragraph, and I want you to annotate for things that you feel continue to reinforce this idea of that duality, those two worlds. Finish reading those next 3 sentences and annotate for anything that you see reinforcing that concept. Ms. Larson would like to pop in. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just I want to kind of take a step back. What do you notice Miss Van Milligan doing as a thinker and reader of this text?
Thinking about like the past that already happened and connecting it to like how it is now.
What do you mean the past that it's already happened? Can
Like
you?
what already happened in the book, like prior to like the moments here.
Okay, so prior context to now. Where do you see her doing that in annotation?
When she says the character shift, how he first started as like a very hopeful person, and now he's just like, oh well.
Okay, so using context prior to now to inform things like character shift. And when character shift occurs, like who's really behind that move?
Gatsby.
Is it Gatsby? Over here? The author, what do you mean by that? what do you mean the author's behind it?
Because more you change how God's becoming,
Okay.
how he felt.
And that why is going to be really important, right?
So-
Why he makes that move.
Right, and then when Miss Larson says why is that shift important? That's where we're taking it to theme, right? To something that's more general, which is what we talked about during the do now.
So we have context prior to now. What other thinking moves do you see Miss Van Milligan doing? You look at those annotations and had to name it.
Some foreshadowing.
Okay, hold off. I'm gonna go to somebody else. Okay. Gaida, something that you notice.
She's circling like keywords, like key phrases,
Can you tell me what you mean by that, and then what thinking she did around that?
like what it means as like Gatsby's character.
Say more. Maybe with evidence that might help me understand what you're saying.
Like for when we circle the other trees, we said we were thinking about how seasons is important and like what fall season represents in this context.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So is that just this context, or is that fall in general, like as an idea? What's that, AJ? Fair answer. Tell me why you said that.
Because like when you think about fall, you think about like cold, like depressed, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and then like leaves falling. Yeah.
Okay.
And then like in the text, we see that like it's fall, and then you can like connect it to like what Jay Gatsby is feeling
Okay.
about like loss and hope.
Okay. So if we're kind of recalling some of the steps she's taking, Oscar, give me one step that she's taking that we've talked about. Yeah, we're kind of recalling the thinking moves that Van Milligan is doing. Give me one kind of thinking move that she's doing. Why though?
Yeah. Yeah, circling words that connect is what he said.
Connect to what? I'm not satisfied with that. Sorry. I'm trying to get more to like the transferable nature of like close reading. So what do you mean when you say like the whole book? You're on the right track, dude. She's circling keywords to what? What kind of thinking is she doing with those keywords?
Can I chime in?
Is she like paraphrasing them, or is she taking it to a new level? Okay, how does she do that?
She uses critical thinking.
Boom.
Okay.
Okay. We've talked about some of the ways that looks like. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say like the
Nice
words
job, Oscar.
that I was thinking of were theme and motif, right? So if I know that I've been talking about identity, or carelessness, or whiteness, and now I see that again, then I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what? I sense a pattern. So that's sort of like my annotation strategy. Is like, is this reinforcing themes? Is it complicating themes? Is it adding new information? But those patterns, right? So like I wouldn't, like notice that I went through 2 whole paragraphs and like I didn't think pool mattress meant anything, right? That's a skill in and of itself, right? Because you don't want to go through every noun that you see and be like, oh, pool mattress, why is it a mattress? Is air significant here, right? No, we know that it's not. We haven't talked about that before, right? So that's
Nice.
part of the process as well, right? So knowing what's important and what's not, and what you're actually looking for. But it's basically like saying Jesus in church class at this point, right? We've been talking about the Platonic so often that
Yeah.
that's probably going to be the answer at this point, right? So let's continue.
Thanks, team, for letting me hop in, and thanks for hanging with the thoroughness of those responses. Thanks, Bill.
So let's go through and circle in the next couple lines. We started at he must have. So he must have looked up. And I want you to read those next 3 lines to the end of the paragraph, and I want you to annotate for anything that you think is continuing to reinforce ideas or patterns that we've seen so far.